Good evening, Nancy. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and I hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day. Um, what is Memorial Day? It's a very good question. So let me show you. So that was today. And Memorial Day is a holiday. It's a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning the military personnel who have died while serving the United States Armed Forces. The holiday is now observed on the last Monday of May, having been observed on May 30th from 1868 to 1970. Okay, so mourning is like when you're like, how can I explain? Not necessarily crying, but you're respecting the dead who served the country. So anyway, that's today, and coming back to our transcript. So that is an article about the major US colleges plan to reopen for fall 2020. So I have some parents who are concerned about sending their kids to the very expensive colleges in California and other places because the tuition will be not being reduced. There's no promotion, nothing. So that means the parents will pay a full tuition no matter what, even though the many courses will be online. So of course, many colleges are different. UCLA, for instance, is, giving hope to the parents, saying that things will be fine. I lost the stuff. Things will be fine, and don't worry about it. The kids will have normal classes. In fact, many classes will be online. Okay, so that is a problem, because the parents are like, well, if it's online, you should give us a discount. But UCLA doesn't want that. At least Cambridge and other colleges are quite honest, and they don't want to charge the full tuition, and they are telling honestly to the parents, well, courses will be mostly online. There we go. So this is a huge business in America. So consumption will decrease, less cars, less clothes, luxury goods. People may buy less stuff. I don't know if you noticed, but people are buying more stuff for the home, home improvement, more stuff about hobby and pleasure. Wine consumption is higher. People are buying more and more stuff for watching movies, enjoying stuff in the house, etc. Men investing more time and money on home repair. Okay. What is pseudo is like fake. It's not real. When we say it's a pseudo doctor, it's not a real doctor. Okay. To pretend, in a sense. A pseudo singer is somebody who pretends to be a singer but doesn't know how to sing. A barista is someone who's gonna serve you the coffee in the coffee shop. Okay, head it off, like moving forward, your head first somewhere. Friendly, helpful, friendly, to maintain a good impression with the neighbors, to be genuinely friendly, authentic, real, really friendly. Okay, so we talked, we had that was for the transcript. So let's go to Q skill. That is for yeah, it's not the first CD, unfortunately. So anyway, let me open the book. Just give me 1 second. Q skills for success, listening and speaking, number 3. And so far we are talking about the first impressions, what people would think if you had an argument with a barista at the coffee shop. The barista, I remind you, this is a guy who's going to make you coffee. So it's, if people see you arguing with a coffee, the barista, they're going to think you're in a bad mood and you're not really nice, and you're always like that, okay? So, which is not necessarily true. You may have like one day you're in a bad mood and nothing is working. So things can not really happen the way you want. You're impatient, or you're tired, you didn't sleep, you had a bad week. So that can happen to anybody, okay? But that doesn't make you pissed all the time. So, so the first impression can be fake, can be false. It's not always true, okay? So the same with the clothes, we can have like a bad day and things are not working, and it doesn't have to be like that every day. But you know, we just have to be a tiny bit more tolerant, more flexible. Anyway, trying to get to the page we did the last time. So it's currently, by the way, it's currently, so Monday, May 25th, and almost the end of the month. And you know, that's so weird to have spent like almost 2 months, well, more than 2 months actually, in the house without really having a normal life. I mean, I work every day online, so it's not like it's abnormal for me, but still, we are still living in a weird and strange time. So anyway, this is where we are with Q-Skill. Not exactly the same page, but around that. So anyway, do some proverbs, different sentences, you know, that can give advice to people, etc., etc. Okay, so you guys in China have a lot of proverbs, but I don't want to go there. So we did the psychology of first impressions. Okay, we did this exercise. We did also the psychology of first impressions. You can also listen to the transcript, and I believe the transcript will be not for those guys, but the other exercise. So anyway, people often make mistakes about what they see in the first encounter, the first time they see. People assume that their first impressions tell them about the whole person. That's not true. If we think a person is happy when we first meet her, so we will think she's also friendly. If someone else does something negative, we think it is because of her, of his personality. And if we do something negative, we think it is because of the situation. Okay, sometimes it's somebody else's fault. Okay, so we have making inferences. That means to draw conclusions about an information you get that is not stated directly by using information that you already know and that is stated directly. Making inferences while listening can help deepen your understanding of what you hear. So what does that mean? So there is a student talking about meeting his professor for the first time. That was the first dialogue. When I first met my professor, he shook my hand firmly and then asked me questions about myself. He was very polite. He also was very was relaxed and seemed interested in what I was saying. Well, so the first impression is great. That doesn't mean the guy is great. He can be a psychopath, he can be a wife beater, he can be the most evil guy at home. Okay? So, but at work, he has to be professional. So, even though the student does not state directly that his first impression of his professor was positive, you can infer or you can conclude that he did from the information it does state directly. He shook my hand firmly. He asked questions. He was relaxed and seemed interested. Okay, so that is a conclusion of the kid. That's making inferences. Okay, so anyway, there was also let me check 206. I don't know if it's going to be the right page. Okay, let's see. Moves. I'm so far. I'm so far from this page. Anyway, let's see. So the transcript can always be found at the end of the book. So you don't always need the track, but it's important also to work on that in order to, you know, to progress and understand what people tell you around. So 206 and 207 we have the transcript, if I can reach these pages. So that will be pretty soon. Let me just put 206 and 207, you have the transcript. Okay, it starts here, making inferences. When I first met my professor, so that is done. Okay, they repeated the same kind of the same description in the previous page. So now we have a guy, he's a student at the university, and he's gonna meet another guy he doesn't know. So we're gonna see the first impression. I remember the first time I met Lee. It was the first day of classes my freshman year. I was on my way to my history class and had no idea where I was going. He smiled and asked me if I needed help. I must have looked really lost. Anyway, he gave me directions to the building where my history class was, which I don't think I would have found on my own. After he gave me directions, he introduced himself and gave me a firm handshake. He wished me luck with my classes and then headed off across campus. So he was probably late for his own class. My first couple of weeks of college were pretty difficult and lonely. I remember hoping I would see Lee again on my way to classes. About a month or so later, I did. I was eating lunch in the cafeteria. I waved to him. Sometimes we're going to say I wave at him. And asked him to sit at my table with me and a couple of my new friends. Okay, so first impression is great because the guy, Lee, is very friendly and helpful. So when I first met Lee, I knew instantly he was a type of person I could be friends with. He was so friendly, I mean, I couldn't believe he made himself late for class for me, to help me. A Frenchman he didn't even know. The fact he helped me and made me feel welcome made a real great first impression on me. We've been good friends ever since. Okay? So if I come back to the page I was, so on the PDF it's 27, but in fact it's page 8. Okay? So that could be the track 6. Huh? Listen to a student talk about first impression. So do you think it was a positive? It was a positive or negative first impression, or it was a positive with Lee? Why? Because Lee helped the freshman. What information from your notes helped you answer? To give direction, the handshake, he's taking time to help the new freshman, and he was late to his class. Do you think the speaker likes Lee? Yes, of course. Why? What information from your notes helped you answer? After when he met Lee in the cafeteria, well, Lee came to meet his friend and they've been friends ever since. Okay, so we can listen to the speaker's opinion of Lee. Okay, so the thing is, the speaker opinion of Lee is very friendly, very positive. Okay, so but anyway, no need to dwell on that because it's repetitive. And we're going to try to talk about that as well. I made a conscious effort to stay in regular contact with all my friends. I make time to call and email them often. Intentional, conscious. Watching a video is an effective way to study someone's behavior. You can learn a lot from the way people move their hands. Effective, successful. Marcos is an expert at swimming. He has been doing it a long time. Skillful. The painting was a fake. It was not painted by Da Vinci, as the owner believed. Fake imitation. The opposite is original. When you meet new people, you should trust your instincts. Your first reaction is often correct. Your instincts is natural feelings. Your guts. G-U-T-S. My car is unreliable. There is always something wrong with it. We could also say comfortable, but also dependable. It's dependable. I can't select anyone to receive the award. It's like to choose. I often make snap judgments, quick decisions. suspicious, doubtful.